Victoria.
Good evening, everybody in television and radio podcast land. Listen, before we even begin, I'm going to go ahead and share this live with a few folks. And I want you to do the same thing too, because this is a very special night. You see that one of our compadres, one of the bronze girls, is missing in action, but we're going to explain that in just a few minutes. But good evening, one. Good evening, all. How are you tonight, Ruth?
I am well. I am good. I know it's the beginning of the week, but I feel like we're off to a good start.
Yes. Love it. Love it. Good
Mhm.
evening, Francina. Good evening, Linda. Y'all go ahead and share because it's going to be a November to remember. Again, you have tuned into yet another episode of Authors Up, as we like to say. It's our favorite place to be on Sunday evenings. And tonight we're going to start out just as we normally do. And we're going to have our week in review -1, but we'll tell you where she's at in a minute. Why don't you start us off tonight, Bruce?
I was gonna say, you know what? As soon as we hit go, I think we'll find out what Andrea was doing this past week. So, um, me personally, I think after all the travel and everything, I just went back into my usual routine. And,
Okay.
you look at the calendar and it's November.
Yeah.
It's November. It's almost 2025, guys. I mean, Christmas is like next week. That's the way
Right.
it feels. So,
Right.
um, needless to say, that's got me making a whole lot of lists and got me planning ahead. And yes, I'm already thinking about Christmas and all of that. So it has me in busy mode. And honestly,
Yeah.
that's when November 1st came, that was where my mindset was, because with October you're still kind of
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fall, but now we are officially into the holiday season, and
Yes.
that's where my brain is. So
Really.
yeah,
Well, will
yeah,
all of your chickadees be home for Christmas?
yes, I will.
Oh,
Yeah.
you get to rub on the new belly.
Yes, I do. So we'll enjoy that for certain. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So how was your week?
My week was interesting. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I traveled back from Tennessee from seeing my mom and my sister, so it was bittersweet for me, and also dealing with the death of a classmate, somebody I had known since the first grade, and
Oh wow.
I admit I have not really been dealing with it well.
Mhm.
Um, so I just been kind of in slow mode this weekend.
Mhm.
Just a little tired and just not really doing too much. So I
Right.
just rested this weekend. Sometimes when you get in those modes, you gotta listen to your body.
Mhm.
And so mine said, do nothing. So I listened to it. And I am so glad I did because I'm up and at 'em and ready for tonight. I'm just so pumped. And again, you guys know I've said this more than once. This is the best place to be on Sunday night because it gives me a pickup like nothing else. And tonight is going to be no different. Matter of fact, tonight's going to be a little better and better. So tell us, Ruth, what do we have tonight? And I'm telling you, go ahead and like and share right now because you want everybody to see this tonight. Go ahead, Ruth. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, tonight we are proud to present our Playhouse. We try to do that every once a year. I believe this is the third Playhouse that we've done, and we are presenting a dramatic reading of Andrea Hines' book, The Train. So if you guys haven't read it, this will be a great introduction. Um, and then you can go out and buy the book and read it. So
Yes.
yeah, we are excited, and I think we should get started.
All right. All right. Yay. We'll be back.
Yes.
For longtime friends Pat, Jean, Charlotte, and Diamond, Samantha's wedding was going to be the perfect opportunity to get together and catch up on life. They had decided to travel by train to the nuptials, which for Pat held its own meaning. She believed that if life was a journey, then the train would be the ideal mode of transportation to get from point A to point B. From where you are now to where you ultimately wanted to go, from here to the coveted station called there. Pat had taken many train rides during the course of her life and had a special meaning behind them all. At some point, each of the friends had believed there included the man of their dreams, a great job, wonderful home, luxury auto, a cat, a dog, and 2.5 kids. None of them were sure of the .5, but it seemed to fit the goal. As Pat and her friends prepared for the trip of their lives, they soon discovered that not everything is as it appears, and the arrival at a desired destination doesn't always provide the joy and fulfillment they all wanted. Only the life train would get them where they wanted to go, and the journey would not be what they expected. Before we begin, here's a snapshot of who they are.
I'm always the first to arrive, and I've been sitting here wondering when I lost part of my first name. I don't mind being a hyphenated woman, but I actually like my first name, Patrice. But I seem to be the only one that does. One day someone called me Pat years ago, and that's who I've been ever since. I am many things to many people: a friend, confidant, attorney, and the glue that holds this odd group of friends together. We are all so different, but we love each other and we will go to the mat for one another. I'm really excited about seeing everybody this weekend, especially Jean. We were besties before the term even was invented. Ride or die, that's my girl. You better believe it.
People like to refer to me as Miss ATB because I'm an award winning cosmetic consultant for all things beautiful. Those who know me well and those who don't have the same opinion. I have an insatiable appetite for life and I don't mind throwing caution to the wind to see where it will take me. And I'm pretty forthright. Wall Street has been my playground, and you'd think I'd be a little bit more cautious, but that just isn't who I am. Risk taking suits me, though, especially when it comes to men and marriage. I've taken that trip down the aisle maybe four times. One marriage ended in divorce, one in death, tragic ski accident. And one ended when we went to a friend's gender reveal, and my ex had a different kind of gender reveal in mind. Huh? Who knew? And the other one, broken engagement. But I am not deterred. Number 5 is out there waiting for little old me. I can't wait to see everyone, especially Pat. She's as laid back, calm, and cautious as they come. We balance each other out. Always have, and always will.
We were going to give everyone nicknames once, and instead of keeping my name of Charlotte, they called me Magnet. I guess it's because of my magnetic personality. I don't care where I am, men they're just drawn to me. I love dating. I love romance and weddings and engagements. I've been engaged several times, but haven't made it to the altar until now. My new man is the man. I don't want to steal Samantha's moment, but I can't wait to let the girls know that I am newly engaged. Ooh, they are going to be so surprised. Ooh, since Jean turned me on to her ATB cosmetic line, and I look amazing. I mean, time is trying to knock at the door, but I am determined not to answer. I guess that's one reason why my honey bear loves me so much. But whatever his reason is, I'm glad about it. He says I light up his life, and I am his one and only. Finally, a man who loves me that I can trust. But he's so busy. No matter what, I call and I try to be patient, but well, that's what happens when you have a man like mine. Sometimes it's so hard to keep up with it. If he asked me to elope this weekend, honey, I would do it. And Samantha would just have to understand.
I'm Diamond. Just refer to me as the Mrs. in the Circle. I'm the only one still married, and my husband and I have been together for 15 years, 4 beautiful children. I love being a wife, mom, confidant, friend, and whatever else I'm needed to be. I'm usually more on the quiet side, hanging in the background, which is easy to do with Charlotte and Jean around. They always seem to have some kind of weird, crazy competition going on between the two of them. They are who they are, and I love them, even with all their crazy quirks. I overheard them one day talking, and they referred to me as boring and wondered why I wasn't a preacher already. Bless their hearts. It didn't make me angry, it made me smile. You know, God is and always will be my center, and there's nothing wrong with that. Prayer and all things associated with my Lord and Savior bring me nothing but joy, and I am more than happy to share.
I'm Samantha, and I am the reason for this amazing gathering. Pat and I have been friends for what seems to be forever. I think she's the glue that holds this group together, and that's just fine by me. I love to travel, and I don't mind going where a career will take me. Steady Samantha, that's what they call me. My parents, My parents were older and very strict, but they loved Pat, and she became my door to the outside world. Whatever Pat got to do, I got to do. And boy, did we have a blast growing up. And we even did some things that we shouldn't have. You know, Pat and I have that kind of friendship that no matter how much time goes by, our bond could bring us back together and we wouldn't miss a beat. I was hoping that she would be my maid of honor, but some things happened and she couldn't. It's okay though, because as long as I know that she's going to be there, then everything is going to be fine. These past few months have raised some questions, and ever since my last conversation with Pat, I knew that she was the one who I needed in my corner. Our little circle and everyone in it has such a special place in my life. I am one lucky lady.
And so it begins. The meeting place chosen to finalize plans to go to Samantha's wedding was the Crown Pavilion, located inside the recently remodeled Imperial train station. Each of the friends had her own expectation about the wedding, an intimate ceremony, who would be there, what they would wear, typical wedding chatter, but lots of catching up for them. They were all happy for Samantha. Each of them had talked to her, but when they discussed the details with one another, there seemed to be something that just, well, wasn't quite right. No one could put their finger on just what it was. They all knew this was going to be an interesting weekend, to say the least. Pat and Jean were the first to arrive.
Well, hello there, Flawless.
No, it can't be. Jean, is that you?
What do you mean it can't be? Who else would it be, Miss Patrice?
Girl, I'm not talking about you being you. I'm talking about you being on time. I've never known you to be on time for anything a day in your life. Not classes in school, not planes for vacation. Shoot, you weren't even on time for your own weddings. Is everything all right? I mean, Jean, are you okay?
Okay. Now you know you're wrong for that one. I was on time for my wedding. I think maybe at least one of them. Girl, that's old news. Let's find us a table.
They found a nice spot where they could easily see the door as they waited for Charlotte and Diamond. Several years had passed since they had all seen each other, and Pat and Jean were busy catching up, talking about careers, old friends, and, of course, who had been a passenger on the familiar romance train.
I hear Samantha's wedding is going to be elegant.
Girl, and as classy as they come. Have you talked to her recently? I must admit, I was a little bit surprised. Samantha has been on again, off again, and on again about her feelings about marriage. I guess I just wondered what changed her mind.
Now that's a long story.
Well, make it a quick one.
You know, curiosity killed the cat.
And satisfaction brought it back.
Well, first, let me ask you something. Whose idea was it to take the train to this wedding anyway?
I could strangle you right now.
Not before you answer my question.
It was yours.
No, ma'am, not me.
Listen, I can't do this part because, I don't believe in ground transportation. I believe in flying the friendly skies. So I couldn't have put this together.
You know, you might be right.
See, I told you it wasn't me.
It may not have been you, but it wasn't me either. Charlotte and Diamond are the culprits in this one, I bet. We were all having lunch and had just received the wedding invitations to the nuptials of Samantha Green and Joshua Brown. We laughed about the whole Crayola thing. You know, Miss Samantha Green Brown. Oh, Charlotte says we should get together the day before lunch, meet in the morning, and all take the train.
Okay. Okay, it's all coming back to me now. But just one last thing. Why were we listening to Charlotte? She is as scatterbrained as they come.
Jean, we are not doing this.
Well, it's true.
She's just trusting, that's all. And, well, an incurable romantic.
Trusting? How about desperate? Let's just reflect a minute. Remember the man who was a race car driver and was traveling on the NASCAR circuit, and she was too fine to be seen around the other drivers? He was always somewhere when she invited him to events. He was either a no call or a no show. And that went on for forever until she found out he was running three women at the same time. He wasn't racing. That joker didn't even have a driver's license.
Come on now, Jean.
And then there was Mr. Easy on the eye, the one with the bodybuilder physique and the sexy accent. He didn't have a green card. He was a real shady character. And the list goes on and on. Now, it was just, there's just been so many.
Cut her some slack. She just chooses the wrong guy.
That's my point. She doesn't choose anybody. Whoever comes along with just a little bit of charm and a little bit of charisma, she finds herself and thinks he is the one, and she is ready for the ride. Maybe if she got herself together and wouldn't be so easy to fool, she would see the right man when he came along.
Isn't that Charlotte that just walked in over there?
Yeah, that's her, all right. And on the phone as usual. Some things don't ever change.
We are going to have a nice, drama free weekend, Jean.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But I'm telling you, something is not right.
And how do you know?
I can tell by her body language.
You can't hardly see her over there. Besides, you know Charlotte. She's
Just what?
she's just Charlotte. And at the end of the day, you know she'd do anything for any one of us. She's got a good heart.
It's not her heart, it's her brain. She's all over everywhere. And actually, I just hate to see her taken advantage of all the time. And why is she over there and not over here? And she's late.
I know you're not talking about anybody being late.
It takes a lot, ma'am, to look like $1,000,000 and be on time.
I know. And it's such a burden if you don't have natural beauty. I am so looking forward to this. We're going to have a good time this weekend. By the way, where's Diamond?
She should have been here by now, unless she's still with her personal trainer.
Her what? I didn't know she was working out with a personal trainer.
If that's what you want to call it.
What are you suggesting?
Well, I don't mean to gossip or anything, but after that last bundle, she was concerned about, not being able to lose the baby weight. So she got herself a personal trainer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She had mentioned that one day, even before she had the baby, that she was going to start going to the gym.
Did I mention a gym? I said personal trainer. Personal trainer. Pat, keep up. I heard he started coming to the house. The pounds were flying off. Rashard became Ray. Ooh, and the rest was history.
The rest, the rest of what, Jean? The rest of what?
The rest of the weight loss journey. That's all. She's happy, healthy, and looks amazing. That's it.
That's it. Not even a flirtatious little fling.
Who? Diamond? Not that I know of. And I'm happy for her. That's my girl.
Before Jean and Pat could say another word, Charlotte was at the table, talking faster than a runaway train. She had news, big news, and she couldn't wait to tell it. There was a new boo in her life, and this time it was for real. She quickly told them about the romantic proposal, the engagement ring she couldn't wear until it was sized, her wedding plans, how she had to reach him before they left town, but it seems like she couldn't get him on the phone. She quickly showed them pictures of one of the best-looking men they had ever seen. Every time they asked a question, though, about this new Mr. Right, Charlotte looked more and more distressed and decided it was better if she waited outside for Diamond.
Well, no one could ever accuse that girl of poor vision. That man is fine.
And the ring. Did you catch the picture of that ring?
How could you miss it? But that talk about getting it sized, I'm not buying that for 1 minute. Mm-mm.
This is Charlotte. You know she doesn't know much about this man. I bet she's out there now trying to get in touch with him and prove you wrong. Look what you did. She's really getting upset.
Me?
Yes, you. I don't see anyone else sitting here. You know how Charlotte is. She can't stand too many questions about her latest and greatest, especially when she doesn't want to or can't really answer them.
Okay, all right. I get it. Maybe I just couldn't fake a right reaction. I hate to see her go through this again. I really do. This has disaster written all over it. I want Charlotte to know she's not some desperate, pathetic trick who'll fall for anything. And did you really take a look at that picture? I'm telling you, there's something wrong with him. Whoever he is, he's probably lying through his teeth. He's probably sitting somewhere laughing with his buddies over a beer at how gullible she is. We're her friends, and we ought to speak up and help her see the light.
And I'm not saying I totally disagree with you, but this is forever hopeful Charlotte. And she is always looking for the one. Besides that, she did not ask for your opinion or my opinion. If you want her to be happy, pray for her. So I'm going to be happy for her today so I can be there for her tomorrow.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Lord, help me to be a better friend.
And one more thing, I think you're wrong about Mr. Mystery Man lying, laughing, and having a beer with his buddies. Because if that ring is real, he's drinking something a lot more expensive than beer. Okay?
Okay. Speaking of which, I really do need a drink. Where is the waiter?
Jane, I thought you wasn't drinking anymore.
I didn't think I was either until now. Mm. Uh-oh, Pat. Here comes Charlotte. This does not look good. Not good at all. Ooh, ooh. The smile is fading. The smile is fading. I would love to hear that phone conversation right now. I wonder what's going on. Ooh, I bet he's breaking up with her. Mhm.
It doesn't have to be him. It could be about something else entirely or somebody else. I'm sure she knows more than one person, Jean.
Mm, maybe so, but she does not look happy. Not happy at all. Oh, here she comes. Oh, Lord. She's crying. Why is she crying?
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Well, that was it. The dam had officially broken, and Charlotte was indeed letting the tears flow. But why? What was going on? What was being relayed in the phone call that could be so upsetting? Who was on the other end, and what did they have to say? And where was Diamond? I'll guess you'll have to wait until next week when we return with another episode of The Train.
Hey, hey, hey. That was the best cliffhanger, I have to say. Now I'm thinking I got to go back and read the book. Oh,
Amazing. Well done, ladies. Well done. I'm so
Yes.
proud.
It's an adaptation of The Train. So
hey,
there's some
hey.
surprises along the way. Some surprises along the way.
I
I
cannot
thank
wait.
our actors.
Mhm.
They're really doing a good job. And I tell you, if you
Definitely.
enjoyed tonight, you do not want to miss next week. More stuff, guys. More stuff is happening.
I'm telling you, November to remember.
You got it. You got it. Indeed so. Indeed so.
I love it. I hope everybody will go out and get the book. Get the
Yeah.
book, The
Get the-
Train by
get the book.
Andrea L. Hines.
Get the
That's
book.
right.
Get the
That's right. And meanwhile, you can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. We are out there. Just like, subscribe, share with your friends. Yeah, and you can watch this replay on Saturday night on Facebook, or we will be it will be uploaded on YouTube and on podcast by midweek. So by all means, share it with a friend or watch it again and get ready for next week's installment.
Yes, Francine said, got me wanting more. Me too. Me too.
Well,
And I'm
we,
gonna tell you one more thing, and I'm gonna get off. Listen, if I get one more text, email, call, whatever the case may be, do I know my voting place? I know my voting place. I know who I'm going to vote for, and I'm going on Tuesday. Okay, to the ones in the back. I hope you hear me. I know where I'm going. Get out there and vote. Go vote. Get your voice be heard. Go vote.
That is her public service announcement. Thank
That's
you,
my
Victoria.
PSA for tonight.
that's it.
Yes.
That's it. I'm asking the cast to just hang in there and don't go away. I'm freezing here, but I just want to say This is our favorite place to be on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. right here on Authors Up. It is a great opportunity for me to be able to bring this book to life with some wonderful, wonderful people. And come on back next week. We want to see you here next week at 7 p.m. for another episode of The Train and see what's happening right here on Authors Up. That's it. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Night, brothers, girls.